Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 61 of the Own the Moment podcast. My name is TJ Lasig. I'm one of the co-founders here at OTM, and we are back for another just breaking news right before here. These anonymous projects, Justin, but we've got a pumping Top Shot market, a lot to get to, as always, and we've got a special guest with us. But first, as always, Justin, how are we doing tonight?
Doing well. It is the wife's birthday, so that just shows how much I love you all and how much I'm really contributing to this. And we put a tweet out the other day about what you did for Top Shot to keep it going. And I might have been a couple days late, but prioritizing Top Shot over the wife's birthday, I think that's got to give you something.
There you go. Happy birthday to Mrs. Herzig down there in Florida. And we've got a special guest tonight. This is the man that's been generating some buzz on Twitter with his short form Top Shot videos that I personally have been enjoying very much. We've got Topshot Tandy with us tonight. How's it going, my man?
It's going great. It means a lot to be here with you guys today. You guys are actually the first Top Shot related podcast that I searched on the App Store or the podcast. And so it means a lot from going there to actually sitting here with you guys today. It's really special.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, hey, I'm by far the least dedicated here tonight because it's Justin's wife's birthday, and it's 1:30 in the morning for you?
Yes, it is.
Is that what I hear? Yes, so we've got a couple dedicated people on the line with me here tonight. Sorry, Justin, you just put something up in chat?
No, it was good. It's just someone saying this might be my last episode.
That's true.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
And,
oh, man. Yeah. All righty. Well, hey, welcome to everyone in the chat. As always, producer group will be behind the scenes, making sure that he's taking care of everyone. I personally have got some fun packs to open here as a Cool Cats holder. I've got a Seeing Stars pack, a Cool Cats pack, and a base set Series 2 Release 15 pack, which I heard are pretty sweet. So I think we're going to have some fun packs to open tonight here later in the show. We'll be making sure that everyone that is in the chat gets onto a giveaway wheel, and we'll be doing that. We're going to talk through the recent market pump. We're going to talk about everything going on with NBA Summer League and a ton of Top Shot news there. We also have MLB Baseball Stadium NFTs on the schedule, which, Justin, I'm excited to learn what that means because I am not familiar. So I will be learning in real time, just like everyone else. We're going to recap the first Mint Fest from last week and then just do a little bit of a deep dive into how we find value in Top Shot now that we've got some momentum here again. I think it's a good time to get back buying and excited to go through all of that with you guys tonight.
Awesome.
Should we start Justin, with the news of the hour?
Yeah, I was about to say, how big is this breaking news? Got to be touched on. I saw was the tweet that you sent me, and then I saw a couple other people tweeting about it too.
I think it's big. I think it's big, and I think this might be kind of one of the turning points because it just touches on a lot of things that are just bad. So high level. NFT avatar projects. There was one that's been around for maybe a month or so now called Fame Lady Squad. Basically supporting women. Did really well. Some cool images. Hindsight, some people are now starting out bring up like maybe the features, the characteristics weren't that great. One was doing Molly. One has to do with some chokers and stuff. And the hindsight, maybe you missed it. Then there's a new one that was supposed to mint tonight called Queenship. And this was supposed to be, I think it was either Black woman, I think it was Black woman, not African-American woman, but Black woman made by them, supporting Black women. And it really just kind of tried to, tap into that market. Already you see a population, a demographic that is not well represented in technology, in crypto, both from a female, both from a minority. And so, this is something that people kind of rally behind. You really want to support. You love the idea behind it. And then we find out that, and obviously nothing is 100% guaranteed, but the evidence is quite compelling that this project is. So first off, both these projects are fully anonymous. There's 3 apparently anonymous people that are behind each project claiming to be females. We find out for the Queenship, it's actually almost certainly not 3 Black women, but more likely 3 male Russians. And they are impersonating as if they are, who they aren't. And then there are substantial ties between this and the Fame Lady Squad, which is one of the more popular NFT avatar projects, seeing that most likely there is some affiliation between the two projects, potentially even the same people who are doing both. And these projects are making millions of dollars, $1.5 million at initial mint. Secondary market gives as well. There is incentive for people to lie, scam, cheat, create these kind of unique aspects. But at the end of the day, when people are anonymous behind these projects, there's not much people can do. And so whether or not that other project was a 12-year-old or not who, created the whales, I don't actually know if we actually found out the truth behind it. I think it's still kind of wishy-washy, but the same thing is here. And we, initially, we a couple weeks put out like a kind of joke, like kind of a joking tweet, but kind of serious, like, hey, can we be done with these anonymous NFT projects? Let's see the faces behind it. Let's see the names, and early on in the days, it was okay. You don't want to, you got a professional job. You got to you don't want to put your name out there. But the truth is, the amount of money that is at stake here, the amount of people's lives that are being impacted by this, if you're not willing to put your name and your face behind a project, if you're not willing to be held accountable for that project, then people shouldn't be willing to support that project. And I think that's where I'm hoping that this, how horrible of a situation it is, because it's taking advantage of this, group of people who are already, a minority in this space and in general, and taking advantage of that. And I just hope that this actually triggers and says, okay, you know what? Let's put some faces, some names, some real people behind projects. And that's what I hope maybe some good comes from out of all this.
Yeah, it's definitely, it just seems like it is coming up all too often. It's definitely becoming a problem, and just so many anonymous people out there that have a ton of pull in this space. And we'll continue to follow this story, but definitely agree. I think that hopefully we start to see a shift more towards projects with actual people behind them, people that are willing to put their reputations on the line, et cetera, are the projects that will be successful.
And I'll bring up one more thing. This is just one additional aspect that I think over the past week has really just made me think more about Topshot. And when we compare what's happened with Topshot, what's available with the NFTs of Topshot, the relationships, the names, the NBA, the everything behind it, and why I have so much more confidence in Topshot having long-term success, even compared to what you're seeing with some of these more successful avatar projects, I think outside of maybe the one or two, that should give us confidence. And we'll go into that market pump. We'll go into the summer league. But these are all things that when you remove yourself from just the prices of the NFTs for Topshot, the moments, and just think about everything that is actually behind the project and that's being built and developed, it should only give us increased confidence in kind of the long-term success of this space.
Absolutely.
Whew. There it is. All right, let's go on to a more happy topic here, because, man, I think this last week, not even a week, last couple of days in Topshot is easily the best run that we've seen since, I don't know, February, March, whenever the initial boom was. Things have been just absolutely pumping. Count valuations are going up across the board, seeing a lot of volume happening in the marketplace. So Topshot Tandy, I'll kick it over to you. What's been your take on the recent run in the market here? And, what do you think is going into the massive gains that we've seen over the past couple of days?
Well, I covered this last week. I think a big part of it is just partly that people who made some money in their other NFTs are coming back. I think there's like a little bit of fear, a little bit of this NFT avatar market is perhaps getting a little too frothy for my liking, and I've made a bunch of gains, and why don't I go back, to the loving arms of Topshot? I feel like that's kind of part of what's going on. It's also based on what Justin was saying, like the utility. We're getting more and more evidence of this utility, and as they keep showing us over and over again that, look, you're gonna do well. The longer you stay with us, the more you engage with our product, the better you're gonna do. And then finally, I think we have to mention the bot, the FOMO bot by Girl Dad and Your Mom NFT. That FOMO bot is real, and FOMO is such a big part of of why people engage in NFTs right now. I mean, to say anything else would just be fooling ourselves. So much of what causes these instant sellouts are FOMO. And I can say it for myself too. There's a project I might be interested in. I'm basically just watching. All right, how close are we to sell out? Okay, we're almost there. Fine, I'll give it a shot as long as gas isn't too high. So to combine FOMO and bring that back to Topshot and then put the pricing of the Topshot moments in Ethereum, to me, that was the mind-blowing game changer right there. Now all of a sudden people are like, wait, I was about to drop 0.08 on that like frog, but why don't I just buy that like Kevin Durant instead? So I think all these things together are just creating a lot of momentum. But really, FOMO, in my opinion, we're in the NFT space. Let's not kid ourselves. FOMO is a big reason.
Yeah, no, I think that's very true. And I think, I mean, you touched on a lot of it, but it just feels like a compound of events. Once again, we just see a bunch of things are going right and they kind of come together. And some of the things that Topshot themselves are driving, some of the things are larger macro trends that are just happening. And so, like, yeah, I'd say the larger, put the bot under that larger theme of that FOMO aspect. And I think that FOMO is kind of also the result of probably a month or two of the price, maybe about a month, we'll say, of the prices kind of just flattening. And people, always were saying for the past 2 months, like, I'm ready to get back in. I've got a lot of money I want to put into Topshot. I just want to put it in when I know it's not going to be cheaper the next day. And majority of people who are still in it, like, you're bullish long-term. You really believe in this long-term aspect, but I could be bullish long-term. And if the price is going down next month, why should I do it today? Let me just wait until next month. And so when you have all these people who see that, hey, it really hasn't been going down, it's kind of leveled off. And, there's going to be a big drop after the NBA playoffs. So let me wait until after that. And then we just see, okay, there's now this, I'm waiting. I'm feeling that kind of anticipation. And so what else actually happens? We start seeing the real world utility of the NBA Topshot at the events. They couldn't have done that in the past year because A, COVID and the difficulty of actually going to the games. B, they were still in that beta stage. So it took them the time to really develop it. But okay, so now we've got the real world aspects. Okay, now we're actually adding some utility, whether it's from the three different trips that were involved. So you've got the snapshot utility. You then have the larger NFT market spiraling upward, where, as you said, people take those profits and move back into Topshot. And I think one of the things that that Topshot will always have going for it is the lack of needing to educate people on it, because so many people found out about it because of those early February, March bumps. And it's not a great feel when a lot of people have bought up and it went down. But the thing is, from a long-term aspect, those people are still aware of Topshot, and they bought in because they believe that their prices were going to continue to go up. And so if they have that confidence again, there's no reason. I mean, you don't need to create new marketing awareness for those 100, 200, however many thousand people it were. And, I know, TJ, we were talking about, like, hey, let's do an analysis of how much of this is new money, new people who are just joining in versus people who have already been in. And, just from looking at where the majority of these sales were driving, and it really was those higher value assets, the top end. And a lot of them are names that we've either seen before or people that, if you look at their account, they've been involved in Topshot before. And I don't think that's a bad thing. We're still going to get that top of the funnels going to, widen. But now you start seeing these people you look up to, hey, they still have that faith. Jeremy Levine, who we talked to back in, February, March, and was big into it, kind of stepped away, did some other stuff. I think he spent over $100,000 on it. I think he bought maybe 4 different moments or something, including an 80,000 Zion. So like, those are the things that I think are really kind of people are looking after. And I know personally, I see this as kind of one of those big moments that's going to not see a crazy spike that we saw in February, but start that kind of uphill trajectory. Maybe it's up and then down a little, but like, let's get that long-term steady upward.
Yep.
Yep, I agree. I think one of the things for me is also, hey, this is kind of what happens when we're not just getting a constant pump of supply into the system. So I feel like for a while there was this fear of like, oh, the off season, things are going to be dead, it's going to go down. And it's actually, at least obviously it's early, but so far had the opposite impact, because we're not having 2 packs drop every single week. And as a result of that, if you want to get more moments, you need to go hit the marketplace and buy them. And
or go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. Go to Las Vegas and hit up the Summer League.
And that kiosk, by the way, is amazing looking.
I've got it queued up, ready to go. Hold on, let me go ahead.
Someone shared a tweet just now. The Pack Reviewing shared a tweet just now of someone ripping live, which I didn't realize was a part of that. Can you imagine if you go to a stadium and you don't know what Top Shot is, and you see someone opening highlights on a massive screen? I mean, that is just crazy to me.
Like, this thing is sick.
It looks fantastic. They did a great job with the look aspect. I mean, for the people who have been in Top Shot, it honestly has like a Top Shot feel from the colors and the design and such. And without a doubt, like, it stands out. The line for it through all the pictures I saw was also at least like 30, 40 people long the entire time. And I'm sure majority of the people, actually, that'd be interesting. Like, I think we'll be able to figure this out, TJ. But once these new fandom moments come out, we'll need to track them and see how many of them go to new accounts, because that'll be interesting to see what percentage of the people who are getting these are, existing people who already have Top Shot or new. And I think for Summer League, it'll probably be pretty heavy on people who already have Top Shot. But when we start seeing these in random games, that's when I think you also have the opportunity to kind of widen that funnel and bring new people in.
100%.
Yeah, and I think that heading into next season, we're just going to continue to see more and more of these in-arena, in-game use cases. I remember Roham did a couple polls a while back, and one of the things that I really liked was the concept of in-arena pack drops. I might have some background noise here if you guys want to talk for a second.
That's okay. In arena, I mean, he even had that tweet out where he was talking about the idea of drones, and with the drones creating a QR style code where you take your Top Shot app or whatever it is and share that. And that sounds cool. It's a little futuristic. This gets the job done in a far more simple manner, and I think creates that kind of attraction as you walk by. And we saw Halliburton in there. We've seen a lot of the kind of content and influencers from the Top Shot space, in there. It's been pretty exciting, and I think it's definitely a win.
What are you most excited about heading into next series, Top Shot Tandy? Anything in particular, whether it's about, in arena utility or just any aspects heading into Series 3 that you're hoping for?
Yeah, I would definitely say in-arena utility is a big one. I mean, although I won't be going to any arenas anytime soon, that and just increased utility for more users. I'm just really excited. I think that these activations for 8 people at a time, obviously, we're all really excited for the people who win, but there's a lot of people who are like, oh God, I have like such a low chance of ever getting anything like that. So as we see more and more utility, and I'm almost certain we will, then that's what I'm really excited for season 3.
Yeah, completely agree. There's been a lot of questions in chat, so I'm gonna run through a couple of these because there's some good ones. I'll start off with Cbear1985 asking, so do we have concerns with the NFT crowd getting back into Top Shot? Because some think that they are the problem to begin with. I think the truth is the people who are getting back into Top Shot, I wouldn't call the NFT crowd. I would call those the actual NBA fans. Maybe there's probably some alignment between people who are also into NFTs, crypto, and maybe that's where they've built some of their wealth. But I think a lot of the people who are really getting back into Top Shot are the ones who are bullish on it from a long-term platform, because I don't know, if you have money and you're looking for quick gains, there's probably other NFT avatar projects. There's probably other ways that if you're heavily active and have a large amount of influence and money, you can probably pump up some other projects and make a quicker dollar. Here, I think it is far more people who are long-term supporters. And once again, we're seeing a lot of the utility does go to people, and the value of that utility is for people who are fans. You want to go to these games. You want to go to the draft. You want to do something NBA related. Maybe it's a virtual meet and greet in a Discord or something. If you're not an NBA fan, those things aren't attractive to you. So the utility doesn't matter to you. For the people who are NBA fans, that's where I think this is strongest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, even just checking out the sets page here, right? There's literally only one set over the last 7 days has not gone up, and the majority of them have gone up substantially here. So, I mean, you can just see the impact that's been happening in the marketplace. Also, shout out for those that have not seen it. We now have the set completion data. So you can see how many users have completed each of the sets. you can also click on it and see which users have completed the sets. So that's kind of cool. You can see me, boom, proud, Cool Cats set completer. But yeah, nice little addition that we made there. And I think what we saw is that Alexo owns every single set, I believe. Or
he has multiple S1 complete sets, including multiple of the cosmics and such. Like, do we actually say if they have multiple? I don't know if we do. I guess not, because otherwise Alexo should.
Well, let me know if you guys want to ask him any questions. I'm actually supposed to talk to him next week.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's like a true OG that I feel like doesn't get talked about as much. But well,
come on, bring it on. Tell me, what do you want from this guy?
So spoiler alert, one of the other things that we're trying to look at and get onto the site is all of how many challenges everyone has completed. And Alexo has completed every single challenge ever.
Yeah, he owns every single moment on the platform.
He has completed every single challenge, which means that, like, okay, it's one thing to own every moment on the platform because you can do that retroactively. But to complete every challenge, you have to have been fully active since I don't even know when. So when me and Neil saw that, we were like, that is crazy right there.
Yeah, there's no one more diehard than he is. That's for sure.
That's awesome. TJ, I think I've been doing a little too much NFTs because when I see completions, I see 5 ETH, I see 2708 ETH, I see.
Yeah, Justin's just been deep in the weeds on all the NFTs now. Look at you. You're turning into the people are going to start hating you in our chat, Justin, if you talk about other NFTs.
All it does is every time I get into a project, I just see how much better Topshot is. It just allows us to continue to learn. And and no spoiler, we've got some stuff up our sleeves, and so a lot of it is some education to make sure that whenever we come out with something, we're making sure that we come out with something that has the most value and interest for the community. So a lot of that really is on the research side. But yeah, no, Topshot continues just to remain the top project. Others may be more profitable from a short-term wise because flipping and pumping and all that and stuff, but from a long term and from an actual build, utility, all that, it's 100% Topshot.
He's got to buy stuff. It's free Justin. He's got to buy stuff somewhere. Let him buy.
There is one moment on the marketplace that I want so badly, and Veerman actually messaged me and he's like, hey, this is right up your sleeve. Why haven't you bought this? I haven't. And I've got one other friend who, a real life friend, and he messaged me. And he's like, hey, is it okay if I buy this? And I'm just like, yeah. So we'll see. He may actually go buy it. But,
Neil had an Embiid that he wanted to buy like a week ago. And then every day he's like, it's at this price now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you.
That's okay.
All righty. Well, hey, speaking of other, do you want to talk about whatever this MLB thing is, or do we got any more thoughts on the market pump / the summer league stuff?
Let's see. And then, so Tandy, I know we were talking in DMs a little, and you for that little meme video you put out, did you end up talking to some other people about what their thoughts were for the pump and stuff, and kind of get a feel for the community? Because I feel like you've got a good good ear to the ground.
Yeah, I think it's basically what a lot of people are talking about, which is that this pump is different. Just that there are accessible floor moments, as you said as well, which makes this so different. And it's the higher end stuff that's going up. It's not the floor stuff that's going up. And, in my opinion, I think that we're seeing the people that jumped other NFTs coming back, the people that were sitting on their sidelines with their bags of Dapper just waiting for things to trend up before they came back. So I think that's why we're seeing this spike, and then we might see a little bit of a reversal just because some of those people are going to start taking profits. But I think that we're not going to see anything drastic, and I think that as soon as we can start getting new users in, it'll be a healthier growth. But that's all I got right now in terms of current pump. I don't think it's anything to go too crazy about in terms of people fearing that there's a little bit of a trend in the other direction. My buddy Ben made a video about it today. And that's what I think as of right now.
Okay.
Very nice.
I like it. Nothing that makes sense. And it's interesting because when you and I were first chatting, we were kind of like, and it really, this happened over the last week where it was get first thoughts on what you think is driving it. And then it just kept going. And I don't think there is just one simple answer. I think it is really a combination of a lot of things, which is also probably a better thing than a one factor pump.
Yeah.
Are you saying you have a video to show right now?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I can publish that now if you guys want to watch it now.
Oh. Yeah,
why not? I know we talked about this. I wasn't sure if you were going to do it. I didn't want to put pressure on.
Yeah. I was just reading the chat and I was like, oh yeah, let's.
You know I'm going to do it.
Okay,
let's do it. All
right, let's see. It's just publishing.
Assume so. He's going to put it on Twitter, and then we're going to show it from on his Twitter page.
And, exactly.
As we do that, everyone else can go to your Twitter page. We'll put it in the chat. Give him a follow. Give him a like. Give him a retweet. I have no idea. Actually, I have a tiny bit of idea what this video is going to be about, but I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited.
All right, cool. So it looks like it's live. The quality is looking a little fuzzy for some reason, but it's there. It's live. And
TJ, is this your screen?
There it is.
Yeah, it's my screen.
All right, so you got the sound.
I do.
Team sets on Topshot lately. After the shock and delight of the 9 Lives Lounge email reveal, which would can we get that full screen? There you go. Daily raffles for signed jerseys, Q&A with Broham and team, Eyes and Buckets popping into the Discord to talk about Pablo Prigioni and Moochie Norris, and early access to future Dapper products. The groupthink among Topshot users was, I want me some of that. But the question became, what will Topshot reward next? It's been hinted in the past that Topshot may reward full team sets, or that they'll reward other set holders. But how much utility and how many sets or teams get rewarded is currently anybody's guess. But what I find currently fascinating is that there are currently factions of Topshot fans that are creating their own private discords where a completed set acts as an entry token, like Mint Juice, like Luca Beast. And they're giving things away like generous giveaways and more. And if you want to run the numbers on sets and team sets to get an idea of what you can currently afford, what things are trending which way, then you want to go do that on otmnft.com. Well, whatever set or team set that you decide to collect, like always, collect what you love, because if the market swings in the wrong direction, you want to ensure that at least you're happy with what you've collected. For all we know, future utility could surprise and delight you, whether it's coming from Topshot, whether it's coming from your fellow internet friends, or whether you may even meet those internet friends one day in real life. So, I ask you guys, what are you currently collecting?
Love it.
I like it. That's Pack Rip and
Lucky something or other. Lucky.
Oh, is that Pack Rip? I saw he said he was doing a face reveal.
Yeah, apparently he's doing a face reveal today.
And he's got the Knicks jersey on, of course. Love that. I think it's cool. How long did it take you to make one of those?
Well, it takes me about like an hour to set up the GIFs and write the script. Sometimes longer, maybe 2 hours. And then it takes me I have to run it through live. It's like doing a live news broadcast. So sometimes I'll just be in this office, just like swearing at myself because I'm on take number like 12. But, if it's a good night, it might take me like 20 minutes to actually do the filming. If it's a bad night, it might take me closer to like 45 minutes.
That's awesome. No,
they're good though. Well, like very well produced. Plus, like anytime there's a Larry David GIF, I'm just automatically.
I gotta use that GIF as much as I can. But yeah, I mean, I just felt like, to me, there's so much good content about Topshot. I love this community so much. I mean, even though I bought at completely the wrong time, and I'm very much underwater, but I still keep coming back because I just love Topshot. I love what you guys are always talking about. I love everything about the Topshot community. I just felt like I could use a little bit of creative outlet and create something different. And, some shows I've always enjoyed are like John Oliver and The Daily Show. And I kind of saw it almost like, what if I created something like that for Topshot? So that was my motivation for the videos that I create.
I like it. I'm trying to think of the kid's name. Not kid, I guess he's probably young 20s. But there's someone in the fantasy football one who does those kind of videos, and it's like a minute video, but like every single second has like an image or something. And like he's talked about the process. And like it is a lot of work, but like just like what you're doing, when it comes off, like it comes off clean. So it looks really good. Well worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's I'll share my screen.
All right.
I think that this Candy site ends up doing a couple different tabs. So I'll just end up share the whole computer screen. All right. So MLB, whose primary platform that we do for NFTs is Candy. This is the Gary V, one of Gary V's NFT companies that, let's see, they did the Dodgers one in the past. They did the Lou Gehrig. They've been talking about doing some college stuff in the future. And so right now they're doing a program, an NFT release around all 30 major league ballparks. And so this just kicked off today. They have a schedule down here of each ballpark they're going to run through. I believe that for each one, there will be a one-of-one auction. And then there will be an open amount of mint for their silver kinds. So for the, let's see. So here's Citi Field. Their Steel Edition, they call it, which is $100, and you basically get the NFT. Let's see if we can play it. I don't think there's any sound, so I don't think it'll matter that I share the full screen. Give it a second to buffer. So $100, looks like 122 are sold. I don't think these are, and I guess if you're a big fan, it's kind of cool to have like an NFT of, you know, the main stadium you go to. I swear my internet's good. So this is on their end. This is a horrible experience. This is good video. Okay, but so you can go there, see their NFTs. I think the cool is so then with the Steel unlimited minting, and then they have the one-of-one auctions that basically give you a VIP experience at the field as well. So the Citi Field one is currently at 11,000. Fenway Park is at 5,000. Not surprising that the New York and Boston are probably two of the larger markets that they start with those to anchor the pricing to drive up for the future. I will definitely be watching the Tampa one because I don't know how many NFT people are in Tampa and maybe can get a steal there. But I think it's just interesting. Just, you know, we always want to keep tabs on, you know, what else is going on in the sports collectible NFT space. That's kind of what most interests us. And you know, I think where there's a lot of commonality from the people who are interested in Topshot. So no recommendations there. I don't think it's personally something I'll probably end up buying, but I'll definitely keep an eye to see if there's maybe a steal or something for like a cool, you know, one-of-one real world experience. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, continue to see just lots of different projects out there. And speaking of lots of projects, there were lots of people last week for the first Mint Fest, so just wanted to do a quick recap there. Hopefully some of you guys were able to tune into the presentation that Justin and I did. A little bit of a different vibe than what we're typically doing, but thought that it was good to talk through, you know, gave a high-level overview of the website and all the tools that we have for people that maybe aren't as familiar, or maybe there's just some features that people don't even know that we have on the site, so we walked through some of that. Justin also walked through a ton of the work that we're doing on the consulting side of Own the Moment, working with brands like ASICS and the Detroit Pistons on their NFTs, and hopefully much more in the future. Yeah, there we go. Speaking of Pistons, any update for the people on the Pistons, Justin?
Yeah, so at a high level, the boxes, the ones that we said were kind of the best value, those sold up pretty quickly. They did the tier system, but those completely sold out. We did an analysis that was a little behind the scenes. It's probably going to release something a bit more updated this week, but at the end of the day, I think just about the end up value for each collector box ended up being around $600 at a $300 purchase. So anyone that bought that guaranteed to make money. The lowest purchases were still profit. And then if you got one of the more rare ones, it was substantial profit. And now we are down to just the auctions remaining. So I think we've had around 15 or so people complete the various sets, which gets them the tickets for the games, the meet and greets, the physical, banner replicas. Still waiting to see if anyone will get the championship ring. But I think the auctions now will go over the next few days. And I think because there's just, there was a lot of excitement early on, but it has been like a 3-week project. The amount of activity in the auctions is probably going to be a little less than if we had done it early on. So my thought is there's probably going to be substantial value for people that are interested, especially because there's the strong utility of the 10 game tickets. And those actually, if you buy it, can be resold in the market, either as tickets or as the NFT, so somebody else can get it. So you still keep that value. Or just for people trying to keep the collections, going, because there has been a strong secondary market. But it's been a well-received project.
Cool. But yeah, first Mint Fest, thought it was an awesome event. Shout out to LG and team for pulling it off. Thought that it was really well organized. Thought that they did a lot of really innovative stuff with the Discords. The Own the Moment virtual booth in the Discord just turned into a straight party fest where all people did was pop in the party emojis, because I think originally some people misunderstood how to get involved in the giveaway, and then people were just trolling for like 3 days straight after that. So there was very mature conversation going on in our Discord there, and but it was pretty fun. And yeah, I mean, just lots of cool presentations I was able to tune into. Not 100% of them, but a good amount of them. A lot of interesting projects going on in the space. I also attended a little bit of that metaverse party, which I think is still a little bit over my head. So that was like, it was just, we were all just these like marshmallowy looking avatars in a metaverse, just like dancing. It was something. But hey, my first metaverse party. So there's that.
But were you on tilt, TJ?
What does that mean? Was I on tilt?
Weren't you like, don't you talk about how you tilt over these like avatar projects?
So I was tilted about the avatar projects a lot early on. Now
it's a different kind of tilt.
It's a different kind of.
I feel like I'd be tilting if I was in the metaverse as a marshmallow man. I think I'd be tilting a little bit.
I know tilting like that. He'd be rolling maybe if he's a little, but yeah. Speaking of first Mint,
Will must have been there. It did get weird.
I saw some people doing some selfies with their robot emoji. Yeah. But speaking of, anybody else, let's see. Get a first Mint race car? Have you seen this, Teach?
No, where was this?
I got it airdropped to me. I think anyone who connected, I don't know.
That's actually sick.
Maybe connected their, their wallet with, because Rev was one of the sponsors there. Apparently you can use this for their actual game. You can sell it in the secondary market for something around $100.
Wow.
But I mean, cool design and stuff. And you can actually use it. So a solid choice for any driver getting started and comfortable taking on any circuit.
That's
perfect.
Pretty sweet.
When you turn it on, is like LG's soothing voice saying like, hello. Oh, that'd be great. I listened to his pod today, and he updated that he's no longer affiliated with Topshot. So he updated the start again. I liked it. Yeah,
that was a great podcast.
Yeah, he actually really, really enjoyed the one today. He did a very succinct method of just going through kind of all the stuff going on in the market. So well done.
I didn't get a chance to listen to that. I'll have to do that. All right. The main event of the show, finding Top Shot value. We've got prices going up. Justin, how can the people find Top Shot value in today's market?
Yeah, I don't have the answer here. I was the one who was asking the question. But I wanted to get Tandy's thoughts, and I can definitely give some of my thoughts too. Because I did take a look at the market stuff and was trying to kind of think about where there are some opportunities. But what are you thinking, Tandy? We're, looking at the opportunity, we see things pumping when there's a bull market, hey, you want to be selective, but you also don't want to overanalyze. But kind of what's your thoughts here?
I think that usually, just like they did it back in February, there's a certain tier of player that spikes first. So I feel like if that's a similar situation to now, you're looking at players that are a little bit below that first top tier, I would say, if you're looking to like jump in right now. So you're looking for players. One that I saw earlier today was like Sadiq Bey or Sadiq Bey, for example. I also kind of like the MGLE S2. I think that might be an undervalued set. I picked up like a Jaylen Brown the other day for like $180. So to me, that's kind of what I think. But honestly, with this kind of a question, I would be leaning way more on you, Justin, for thinking about where the values are.
I mean, one thing that I'll definitely point out is that we've seen some significant movement in Series 1, which, right, was kind of always one of our long-term theses, is that Series 1 will have that longer-term value. And so I think it's been really awesome to see the pump from S1 specifically, because a lot of what we've seen over the past couple of weeks is that anything that is doing well was typically related to something short-term, whether it's a challenge or a quest or, something that incentivized people to buy that. When people are buying Series 1 base sets, that's a long-term buy, in my opinion. And I think that that's a great sign there. So that's one thing that has definitely stuck out to me, is I don't think we've seen this kind of movement in Series 1 base set or Series 1 other stuff in a long time.
TJ, is that mostly Series 1 Top Shot debut, or is that Series 1 across the board? Any idea?
Let's see. I mean, we can take a look. If you want to click on that Series 1 base set, Justin, we can see the kind of steady. I also like that it's kind of happened steadily. Then it just quickly spike, and we can see some of the top gainers here. So I mean, it's the studs up top, right? You've got LeBron, Steph, Giannis, Luka, Ja Zion. So definitely the highest value moments. And yeah, I mean, every single one of those has. Okay, they don't all have the championship badge, but everyone except for LeBron. It's LeBron's and Top Shot debuts. So pretty safe bets there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so right now I'm sorting by 7-day movement just to get a kind of feel. And yeah, I think, decent amount of the Top Shot debut, but I don't think it's only. Looks like it's. Just trying to think through. Smart and Beal feel like outliers, maybe because of some of the free agency movement that we're seeing there.
Smart getting traded? What's going on here? I'm a Celtics fan.
So I was thinking more Bradley Beal because we know the talk that's going on. I just think he'd be in a much better situation if he's away. But from
on the Celtics.
Team, yeah, there you go. And then so otherwise we got Joel Embiid, we got Kyrie, so we got more big names. Otherwise, there's not like huge rhyme or reason, but it is interesting how both these Marcus Smarts are pumping. And I wonder if there's maybe some form of a collector score aspect from a bottleneck. But again, I don't think there would be. Okay. Auxo.
What's going on?
All of these sales is just Auxo buying up the floor on Marcus Smart.
All right, see, you gave me a question. Thank you, Justin.
Yes.
I'm asking Auxo about Marcus Smart.
I actually saw this on Twitter and I just completely forgot about it. Yeah, he just decided to buy up like crazy buy up the floor there. All right, so this is an outlier. Let's take a look at the other Marcus Smart. I feel like it's probably pretty similar.
I would bet my chips on we're going to see a whole lot of Auxo right now.
All right. Okay. So while we're going, I think I agree with TJ though, where I'd use this time to kind of do the zigzag, move away from where the kind of, hot topic is right now, where the hot names are, and kind of go back to our fundamentals. And I think the fundamentals remain, hey, those Hall of Fame players, the Top Shot debuts of them, and then the rookies. And I think the S1 rookies continue to be kind of the more overlooked, just because when you're looking at S1, people are thinking, oh, hey, there's so many that have the Top Shot debut that I kind of overlook the ones that also have the rookie. And it really just gives you that kind of double the chances, double the value from a long-term. What are people going to be interested in? Is it Top Shot debut? You've got that. Is it the rookies? You've got that. The second is the S2 rookies. I think from an NBA sense, there's a great opportunity because we're always too quick to react after just one season and kind of throw someone away, disregard them because they didn't have that great first season. But if you actually take a look, read what Bach's been writing. His reports have been fantastic to kind of highlight where the kind of needles in the haystack are. But when you see that someone's going to get that increased playing time going forward, maybe because a free agent left, a trade, whatever it is, those are the ones that I think there's substantial value. And we can use our MBA knowledge, or more accurately, we can use Bach's MBA knowledge to help identify where those values are. And that's where I'd say that probably the core opportunities are from a midterm value.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. I think we can go back to those kind of tried and true strategies that we'd been talking about for the first several weeks and months of Top Shot. And yeah, it's good to be back.
It is. I'm taking a look at rookies right now. The S1s, maybe I just got, okay, there we go. We definitely see 45%, 55% for both of them. Both have done pretty well. S1 rookies, I think these are a bit more known commodities. These are probably going to be pretty top heavy. On a personal standpoint, MPJ is probably the one that I think is the best value from what we saw at the end of the season, what he's been able to produce, and still doesn't have kind of the expensive profile of some of the others. Like I guess really he's fourth now besides RJ Barrett. So I think that's great. I don't know. I think there's a lot. And that's where we'll definitely bring on Bach on one of these upcoming shows to see how we can kind of continue to learn after we have more free agent signings, and just what kind of information we can use from a Top Shot standpoint.
Love it.
Very nice.
All righty, gentlemen. What do you say we open a pack?
These are great packs. These are special packs.
We got special packs because somebody is a loyal Cool Cats holder to my own personal bankroll deficit. But hey, for all of your benefit.
They're finding ways to make it.
They really are
more worthwhile.
This was a cool way to do it. I like that they did this. All right, what do we think? Seeing Stars, Cool Cats, base set, release 15.
I say base set. Yeah,
I think so too. I think the base set's actually the most valuable of these because Cool
Cats, maybe not. Seeing Stars definitely has some value. A lot of people like that set, and we're starting to see, like, as Tandy said, Discords being built around completing those.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to rip this on open. Producer Coop's got the wheel going in the background, so if you've been chatting it up in chat, you'll be eligible. And I'm pretty sure whatever moment I end up giving away is probably going to end up being a solid one. So enjoy. There we go. Where should we start? Should I mix the music? I'll mix the music.
Let's go reverse. Let's go 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Behind door number 3, we've got
starting off 8, 1, 9, 8.
Oh, that's his favorite.
Who else? Look at that.
Future Hall of Famer, is he not?
50%. What were we on basketball reference? 40. It's funny. People were actually chirping Tandy around, like, really? You bring up Al Horford in your recent video? Like, why would you even bother referencing that? And he's like, well, actually, that was because OTN.
I love how our brand is freaking Al Horford. Like, that's
you gotta keep it going.
Oh,
can't turn your back on Al Horford now.
All right, hey, we got an Al Horford. Never gonna complain about Big Al.
Let's go double trouble, double Al Horford. Give us the twofer. All right.
Was that a Luka?
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Whoa, that's sick.
Gosh, these base sets, they're strong. Look at it, 15,000.
Man,
the old school
solid.
Base set.
That is solid.
I like it. This is the days where we can go back on the marketplace and be like, hey, how much? What's that low ask about?
I know. I'm doing that on my other screen right now.
Well, I was looking at it yesterday. Actually, it's around $40.
Nice.
It's not too bad.
Luka.
All right, finish strong. 2291 Knicks. RJ Barrett.
Wow.
Okay,
nice
not too
pack.
bad.
Solid pack.
Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
These packs are fire, dude.
I told you.
It's so much better. Like,
I know, right?
It's almost like we shouldn't have minted. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, almost. Like,
It'll be
shouldn't have
interesting.
done
Tandy,
that.
what do you think? What do you think they're going to do with mint counts for S3? For a common, for base.
You mean like how much higher are we going to go in circulation count?
I mean, I didn't ask that. You just made an assumption that they were going higher.
Yeah,
Some people think they might go lower.
Well, that would be actually very interesting if they went lower. But I just hope that they have some kind of an algorithm in their back end that's like, here's how active our user base is. Here's how many people are buying per day on a normal day, and let's release enough moments so we don't completely overflow those people and drown them. Like, that's what I'm hoping they're doing. So I don't have the answer, but I surely hope that the Top Shot economist does.
Okay. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
My guess, I think they stay the same. I think they stay at 40. I don't think they go less because they've already made the decision at one point that there was enough demand for those 40s. So,
Right.
that already baked in. Two, I think it'd be a bad look if S3 kind of had less supply than S2 as they expect demand to increase. But I do think they will stay, cautious and understand that, like, hey, people don't want that crazy proliferation of, just /50K plus or whatever without there being a significant more amount of users. So I think they'll stay the same. I think we'll see pretty similar MGLEs at the 499, hollow icons at the 99, base sets at the 40K. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think that's a good guess.
TJ, you got to hold on to that Luka. But
you got to hold on to the Luka. I think we got to
what do
give
you
away Al Horford for the brand.
got to give Al.
Oh, of course.
You got to give up the Al. As much as it pains me to give up an Al, I'm happy to share the Horford love with the community. So let's go ahead and we'll give away the Al Horford here. Producer Coop, can we load up the wheel? See if anyone last minute comes through the woodworks and tells you that they're here.
All right.
Want to see the Seeing Stars? We'll definitely be opening these other packs. I just don't want to do it all in one show.
Yeah, we will. I see you, Joey. All right. So Joey Donnelly has been asking a couple times about that. The S2s are only at 70%. Let's spin the wheel, and I'm going to see if I can figure this one out for you, Joey.
Sounds good. All righty. For an Al Horford. Spin that wheel, Producer Coop. Good luck, everybody.
Spin. Is that Scott? Oh, MLD Bruins. I just saw in the chat too.
Bruins.
Ooh, close.
MLD Bruins. Congratulations.
That was a regular. I know I saw you in chat. Congrats. Shoot us a DM with your Top Shot name, and we will gift that to you in a week. People from last week's show, we still owe you. As of about probably 10 minutes from now, we'll be able to send those out as well once the 7 days have passed.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen. We can walk through this at the same time.
So what is the statement? Is that
the question is that he was saying that 70% of the S2 moments, only 70% are in circulation. My initial guess is that, let's see. So we're just going to click on a random 40K. So I'll probably go for a low ask the other way. DeMar DeRozan. All right. So if we take a look at the individual player profile. So here we have 10% are in packs, so 80% are owned. So if this is what you're seeing, Joey, around like, hey, if this number is 70%, what I would do is first see, so if it's in a pack, this means it's likely just in someone's account, in a pack they own that they have not opened yet. And so nothing people can do about that. I think people just, hold on to packs for whatever reason. I have a decent amount. And so that's what that is. Minted here, but not put in a pack. This is a little more interesting. Not sure what they'll actually end up doing with those. Maybe that means that they're just going to be held off. I know we saw in previous years that they're actually ended up being in some packs that they just never hit the supply. So those S1/1000s, what happened there is they were planning to mint to 1,000. They minted them, so they made 1,000 of them. They then created new moments of those players. And so once they create a new moment, they decided for whatever reason, they're not going to have two of the same players' moments in packs. So they then just held those back from putting them in packs and kept them minted. And so that's where we're going to have the trade-ins where you have the chance to get those S1/1000s. Here, maybe it's a similar situation where, no, they didn't put out a new DeMar DeRozan /40K or base set one. But because they didn't run through it, they figured, hey, rather than just make more packs and more moments, they're just going to keep some minted. And I think they'll probably either be burned, maybe they'll be held for future years for a few other trade-ins. My guess is we're not going to see them flooded on the market, so they're not going to have like a major impact. But I think this is also an interesting aspect of, hey, if you can identify ones that do have a large amount minted, maybe you're actually buying ones that are a bit more rare than it actually looks as a /40K. Could be decent value there. But good eye. I'll take a look at a few more, Joey, and see like if it does look like there's a large trend here. But my guess is, for the most part, that minted number is not going to be substantial.
There's definitely something going on. Like there's a group of here I can share because I was just looking on my end too. There's a group of S2 base moments that are 46% in circulation, and when you look at any of them, they're basically like consistent with this 46, 11, 42. So my guess is that these were like minted because they thought that there was going to be more demand than there was. And then maybe they decided just not to distribute them and slowed down the supply. But yeah, I mean, these clearly all were in the same like grouping of moments is my guess, at least.
Yep. And so I think it's interesting because there's two ways we can approach that strategy. So if there are 45% that are minted but not in packs, that means the actual circulation is really only going to be 24,000. If we feel that Top Shot is just not going to do anything with those and you want to just make a bet that, hey, they're going to burn them or they're not going to distribute them, those are not 40,000 moments. Those are actually 20K. And while it may not say it on the circulation count, you will actually still feel that impact from a market just because fewer percent compared to the 40K will be listed. So inherently from market dynamics, it does hold more value. So that's an interesting kind of strategy. But the other aspect is if you do believe they're going to eventually put those more out, then the price might be inflated now and it'll drop later when more hit the market. So I'd say, hey, let's maybe ask Top Shot in office hours. I think that'd be a great question for them. Keep an eye out for it and use that ambiguity, that unfamiliarity, the lack of really information to make a decision on, hey, if you want to kind of maybe find some value, find a couple of good players that have that circulation and go for it.
Love it. Love it. All right, gentlemen, we have hit the hour mark. It is super, super late over there for Topshot Tandy. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Tell the people where they can find you and everything that you've got going on. And again, if you guys are not following him, please hit him up at Topshot Tandy on Twitter.
Yeah, it's at Topshot Tandy on Twitter. You can find my YouTube channel going tiny.cc/Tandy. I release my videos about 2 or 3 times per week, and I do live streams once in a while as well. So I appreciate all your engagement and feedback from the community. And of course, again, I'm really thankful. And I could be here for another couple hours if you really wanted me to. I really enjoyed being here with you guys. So thank you.
Love it. We are glad you were able to make the time, obviously, get in the middle of that sleep schedule. We appreciate it. And also, I've enjoyed watching your videos. I don't think there's enough of that kind of short little videos. Coming from people who put out our podcast 2 times a week and then TJ does his own, we've definitely are on the longer side. So we appreciate you providing people a bit more of their quick impact stuff.
Thank you.
Not everyone, I guess, has time to sit with us for an hour on a Monday night, but a lot of you did tonight. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will be back next Monday. So on behalf of Justin, on behalf of Topshot Tandy, and of course, producer group behind the scenes, I'm TJ Lasig, and we will see you guys next time.